Well, we finally worked our way out of Peavine Corridor, picking up a few extra pinstripes for good measure. Headed over to Elk Mountain, and now we're heading down Little Bali Mesa. This is going to take us to our first major stop of the day, which is Hotel Rock. This trail, however, is kind of fun. There's a few little ledges, a few little rocks, nothing significant, but you do get some pretty amazing views from up here. But when we get to Hotel Rock, I think this may be the highlight of the entire trip.
This trail has given us, a handful of obstacles along the way. Definitely earns its moderate rating on Trails Off-Road. But again, you come out of the trees and you get these stupidly incredible views. Just freaking remarkable. Not quite the overgrown trees and things that we had on Peavine Corridor, but definitely a fun way to get to the next trail, which is going to be Hotel Rock.
A Hotel Rock is a very prominent feature here, full of archaeological sites. It was probably inhabited by Native American tribes, including the Anasazi. It does feature ruins of ancient Puebloan dwellings, some dating back to, some believe, around 500 to 1300 AD. It was mentioned in Lieutenant J.W. Gunnison's book in 1850, describing it as a significant rock formation. Well, that's kind of an understatement. Today, it's just a tourist attraction, but it's one that really takes some effort to get to, as you'll see coming up very soon.
Coming down Hotel Rock, and what an amazing view we've got here. Now this section is a scout route in Trails Off-Road, and they have it rated as a difficult. So far I wouldn't call it difficult, but I would call it extremely rough. And stock vehicle, no problem. We saw one heading up there. So I don't know what's down below us, but it is some slow going through this hard rock surface.
And only a few minutes in, we start to see why this has a difficulty rating. We believe that this kind of obstacle here, very steep climb, very steep descent, is called Camelback. We heard that from someone else that we met that was coming up the trail, and it is quite the obstacle here in front of us. Like I said, very steep. You have to come to it off camber, and that'll test your nerves a little bit. Now we're beginning to wonder if there's more to this trail than we had anticipated. When we reached the bottom, we stopped to have a bite to eat, take a little breather, and we heard other people on the radio who were coming in the opposite direction. And we were hearing things like, "Oh my God, that was tippy. Oh my God, that was sketchy. Oh my God, that was narrow. Holy crap, I can't believe we made it through that." So I reach out to them and I'm like, "What are you guys driving?" And they said, "Side by sides." And I'm thinking, well, we're in two Gladiators, so this is going to prove to be interesting. Okay, you see, I went pretty far driver and then swung up. It's a good line right there. Yep, right there. Cut it a little more, passenger. Right there. And now you need to climb it. And keep some momentum going. Don't hesitate.
Picking up a lot of wind noise on your...
Yeah, just don't stop. Hold that line right there. Now a little driver, right there. Just stay right there, stay right there. Perfect, you're perfect on the line. Okay, and now driver, 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 right there. A little more driver. Okay, now hard driver, hard driver. Perfect, perfect, perfect. Bring it out. Yeah. Oh, hell yeah.
Yep, keep coming, keep coming. Hair passenger. Right there, right there. Straight, straight. Yep, aim right for me. Perfect.
Now in Trails Off-Road, Hotel Rock is a scout route, meaning it has some basic information, like telling you it's 3.77 miles long and that it's around 6,150 feet above sea level. But there's no waypoints, there's no trail video, none of the advanced information that a full trail guide gets you. So you're kind of on your own to figure it out. And what we're finding out is this trail is one obstacle after another. And just as you think, oh, this should ease up pretty soon, you run into another obstacle that gets a little tricky. So we are having an absolute blast out here. Well, we are coming up on the end of Hotel Rock. We have been on the trail for just barely shy of 3 hours with, I gotta say, very, very few stops along the way. So this will take you some time to get through. And from here, we're hopping on a section called Old Highway 95, where we'll have some options of what we want to do next. But based on some pictures that we're seeing, this is going to be well worth the trip up this next mountain. While it's not often I disagree with something in Trails Off-Road, in the case of Highway 95, it says that this was the original route of Highway 95 until it was moved a mile south. Now, while I can buy that to an extent with the east-west section, once you go up the hill, there is zero historical information that says that this part was ever part of Highway 95. The only other sources of a name for this section, this uphill downhill section, is Comb Ridge Descent. And that, I believe, is probably accurate. So you may hear some dialogue between Rich and I discussing this in some upcoming clips. Keep in mind, we did not have this information at the time that we were running the trail.
I mean, there's nothing but sheer death if you go off this cliff. And it is rough going up here. So yet another surprise. Hotel Rock was definitely harder than we had expected. And now, getting out of here is way rougher than I expected, but different. I mean, this is just rough, where Hotel Rock was technically difficult. Definitely scraped up my rear bumper skid quite a bit. I'll show you that later. Right now, I just want to get out of here and get to Blanding and relax. Go to the bathroom, you know, that kind of stuff. And then we'll find camp for the night and head home tomorrow. But I have a feeling this ain't over yet.
Do you see the car that went over the edge right to your left?
Well, we made it off of Old Highway 95 and we're on Pusey's Tail. Wow, that was an unexpected treat. That was way more than we had expected from looking at trail guides for that. But fun, absolutely fun. Highly recommend Old Highway 95. It is definitely more than it's cracked up to be, for sure. So now we're on this easy, nice little green Posties Trail, and I think we connect back up with Elk Flat or something up ahead that will take us into Blanding. But wow, talk about some unexpected treats today. Well, hopefully it's going to be easy from the rest of the day. But with our luck today, you just never know. What an adventure.
Oh, you're telling me. Wow.
I mean, Peavine Corridor was a lot of fun.
And Hotel Rock was just relentlessly epic.
I mean, but Peavine was not friendly to the paint.
No, that's very true.
No. Recommend it for the fun, but if you value your paint at all, I wouldn't do it. Hotel Rock, like you said, relentless. I mean, non-stop. I didn't expect that.
No.
I mean, we started at the top, so we started with the cliff dwellings, right?
Right.
And that was amazing. So got to see some cool stuff. We start heading down, and we're hearing chatter on the radio about, oh, I need a spot, oh, it's so narrow, and they're in side-by-sides.
Right.
We're like,
what are we in for? What did we sign up for?
Holy cow, that was crazy. So we finish, and we're like, okay, time for a relief.
Right.
And we hit Old Highway 95.
Oh, yeah, that was a bit of a surprise, wasn't it?
I mean, to think that any car used to go over that. Unheard of. I mean, unbelievable.
Yeah.
That was just crazy. I'm beat.
Yeah. I think we've earned a nice dinner tonight.
Yeah. We're not done. We have to go camp for the night before we can head home. I think we're off to Recapture Reservoir.
Sounds good to me.
Maybe some fishing.
Maybe some fishing, couple of steaks.
I think we're set.
And we're going to sleep good tonight.
I think Lucas will too.
Yep, all of us will.
All right, so we'll catch up to you later when we hit the reservoir. We made it to Recapture Reservoir. This is the final stop of this epic trip. What an amazing adventure. My buddy Rich over here, fantastic cook. We had some great meals. Katerina sent me with some great food as well. Just what an adventure. We had a fantastic time. Now, one thing about this trip I wasn't expecting was a little device here that I picked up at Overland Expo. If you watch that video, this is the Heat It. And if you get like a mosquito bite or something, you attach this to your phone and then apply it to the bite, and it's supposed to make the swelling and irritation go down. Well, as I was walking away from the booth, he says, well, I hope you get bit soon. Well, sure enough, the next morning I had a spider bite on my side. I'll show you a picture of it. It was very red. It was extremely painful. And I used the Heat It on it. Almost immediately, I would say there was about a 75% reduction in pain. And within about 2 hours, all the redness and soreness was gone. It was a little tiny miracle. So highly recommend the Heat It for those types of bites. Really made a huge difference for me. Bagheera performed amazingly. I'm super happy with the build. Big thanks to the guys over at the Edge Automotive 4x4 for getting this all together for me at the last minute. The Clayton lift, fantastic, worked like a charm, good articulation, everything worked as expected. The progressive suspension shocks, wow, super impressed. I'll do a whole thing about those in another video. Milestar Patagonia XT tires performed just fantastic. We were aired down at different points from 18 to 15 to about 12. Just handled everything perfectly. And of course, the Dirtbox Overland canopy made for some fantastic sleeping at night. Couldn't have had a better trip. Looking forward to more adventures with Bagheera. And I'm going to take Rich because he's a good cook. So there's that. Now, if there's any like retired chiropractors that want to go with us, let me know. I could probably use someone like that as well. So that's it for our trip here in Southeast Utah. Absolutely phenomenal. I am completely exhausted after today. Getting out of Peavine Corridor was a blast. Hotel Rock was just one thing after another. It was a relentless trail, super fun, very technical, pretty sketchy in a few spots with a Gladiator, but we made it through it okay. Old Highway 95, big shocker. We had no idea it was going to be like that. Super, super scenic and pretty difficult in some spots for most rigs. And now we're at the reservoir, going to relax, and we're going to have some steaks tonight to celebrate the end of this adventure. So thanks for watching, everybody. Yes, be safe out there, and we'll see you on the trails.
All right, so for tonight's grub, we are going to suffer through ribeye steaks with a roasted poblano pepper, smothered with my homemade guajillo chili sauce.
Marco, eat your heart out. Oh. Tell me this doesn't look good.
I hope you enjoy it.
This is the way to end an epic trip.
How about it?